Something strange is hurtling through our solar system, and it's putting our understanding of the universe to the test. This object, known as 3IATLAS, is an interstellar visitor, meaning it came from outside our cosmic neighborhood. And according to renowned astrophysicist Avi Loeb, it's behaving in ways that defy all conventional explanations for a natural comet. By December 19, 2025, we might have an answer that could change everything. Will this object prove to be a bizarre, fragmented comet, or could it be something else entirely? Let's start with the basic problem. 3IATLAS is an interstellar object, the third one we've ever detected. But as it gets closer to our sun, it's acting weird. Recent observations show it spewing out massive jets of gas and dust. These jets are so enormous, stretching millions of kilometers into space, that they just don't make sense for an object of its size. Think of it like this. If you have a small ice cube, you expect a certain amount of vapor to come off it when it warms up. But 3IATLAS is like a tiny ice cube producing a room full of steam. It's simply not possible under the known laws of physics. Avi Loeb, a professor at Harvard University, did the math. He points out that for an object like 3IATLAS estimated to be about 5.6 kilometers in diameter, the energy it receives from the sun just isn't enough to cause the massive amount of sublimation that's the process of ice turning directly into gas that we're seeing. To produce these gigantic jets, the object would have to be losing billions of tons of material every single month. For a body of its size, that's completely unsustainable. It would have vaporized itself long ago. In Loeb's own words, Houston, we have a problem. So, what could explain this? There's one primary natural explanation. What if 3IATLAS isn't a single solid object anymore? What if, as it approached the sun, the intense heat and gravitational forces caused it to break apart? This idea isn't unheard of. We saw it happen in 1994 with comet Shoemaker-Levy 9. Before it spectacularly crashed into Jupiter, the comet was torn into more than 20 pieces. Each piece then had its own surface area exposed to the sun, dramatically increasing the total amount of gas and dust being released. If 3IATLAS broke into, say, a dozen or more large fragments, the combined surface area of all those pieces could potentially explain the enormous jets we're observing. The total mass loss would make sense if it came from many smaller bodies instead of one single, intact one. This fragmentation hypothesis is currently the leading conventional theory. It allows us to explain the bizarre observations without throwing out our physics textbooks. The evidence for this is compelling. Images captured in November 2025 by astronomers Frank Niebling and Michael Buechner showed the incredible scale of these jets, extending over 1 million kilometers toward the sun, and others stretching 3 million kilometers away from it. Loeb's calculations suggest that to sustain such features for even a few months, the object would need to shed about 5 billion tons of mass monthly. Again, this points strongly toward fragmentation. It's the most logical, natural scenario. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if it's not fragmented? This is the line in the sand that Avi Loeb has drawn. He proposes a critical test. On December 19, 2025, 3IATLAS will make its closest approach to Earth. At that point, our most powerful telescopes, including the Hubble and the James Webb Space Telescope, will get their best look yet. They will be able to determine with high certainty whether 3IATLAS is a single, solid body or a cloud of debris. And this is where the implications get profound. Loeb states it plainly: if the observations reveal that 3IATLAS has remained a single intact object, then we must conclude it is not a natural comet. Think about that for a moment. If it's one piece and it's producing these jets, then the energy isn't coming from the sun sublimating its icy surface. The energy must be coming from somewhere else. It would mean the object has its own power source. This opens the door to explanations that sound like science fiction, but are based on logical deduction. If natural processes can't explain its behavior, we have to consider unnatural ones. Could the jets be the result of a controlled propulsion system, like chemical rockets or an ion drive? If so, its movement through our solar system isn't just governed by gravity, but by engineered technology. This isn't the first time an interstellar object has sparked this kind of debate. You probably remember Oumuamua, the first interstellar visitor we detected back in 2017. It was also highly unusual, Siger-shaped, and accelerating away from the sun without any visible tail or jets. Loeb famously suggested it could be an artifact of an extraterrestrial civilization. Now, with 3IATLAS, we have another anomaly, but on a much grander scale. This new object is over 1 million times more massive than Oumuamua. Statistically, finding an object this big from another star system is incredibly rare, something we'd expect to see only once every 10,000 years. And its peculiarities don't stop there. 3IATLAS is traveling in a retrograde orbit, meaning it's moving against the general flow of traffic in our solar system. It's also aligned very closely with the ecliptic plane, the flat disk where most of our planets orbit the sun. For a random visitor from deep space, this is a strange coincidence. Loeb argues that these stacked oddities might be a sign. They could be clues telling us that this object does unfit into the natural comet category at all. It might belong to a category of something we have yet to even imagine. So, the stage is set for a dramatic scientific showdown. December 19th, 2025 is the date to watch. On that day, we will point our best eyes toward this cosmic enigma and wait for the verdict. Will we see a collection of fragments confirming that 3IATLAS was just a very large, fragile comet that couldn't handle the heat? If so, our models of the solar system will be validated, and we'll have learned more about the structure of interstellar comets. It would still be an incredible astronomical event. But what if the telescopes show a single, solid object, still intact, still firing off those impossible jets? If that happens, the scientific conversation will shift in a massive way. We would be forced to confront the possibility that we are observing something not made by nature. As Loeb suggests, we would have to seriously consider that we are looking at technology. In either case, 3IATLAS is pushing the boundaries of our knowledge. It's a powerful reminder that the universe is far more mysterious and surprising than we often assume. It challenges us to keep an open mind and to follow the evidence, wherever it leads, even if it leads to conclusions that were once confined to fiction. What do you think? Is 3IATLAS a cosmic iceberg that's falling apart, or could it be something more? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The cosmos is full of mysteries, and this is one of the biggest ones we've faced in a long time. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the wonders of space. See you next time.